Hi, it's Mr. Tush over Global, and today we're going to talk about styling your site, or in other words, cascading style sheets. And this is kind of a cool way to make a site look a lot more dynamic and a lot more interesting, right? So now we've built our sites, and they're pretty straightforward and they're pretty basic, but I really want to do something a little more dynamic, and a little more interesting with this site. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use something called style sheets. It makes your site a lot better with a lot less work. Let's say I wanted to make all of my headings be, um, be red. Well, in order to do that, I'd have to go up here to the header, and I'd have to go ahead and say style equals, and then I'd have to go in color, red, colon, colon, red, semicolon, boom, and then I click save, and then I'd reload it, and it would change this to red, except when I went over to music, I'd have to go into this, which is table 2, and I have to change it there, and I have to change it in about, I have to go down here and change it here. So to make one little change, I'd have to change it on every page of my site. My site had 50 pages. That makes one little tiny change ridiculous. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do something called style sheets. And this is something they figured out really shortly after the web began. It was kind of neat. Style sheets allow you to make a lot better a site with less work. So this one style sheet becomes kind of the style commander of the site. So let's say I have a site, we'll give it 3 pages, and if I want to make all the text blue, as we said, I'd have to go into the first page, make a change. Go into the second page, make another change. Go to the third page, make another change. And if I have a lot of p tags, I may have to actually put in, a bunch of extra text and divs and things, but I'd have to change it on every page. It's really obnoxious. So instead, what we do is we create a cascading style sheet. This guy right here becomes the commanding officer of the entire site, and she tells each page what to do. Now, you have to go inform each page, go listen to the CSS. So I go and I tell each page, listen to the CSS. I do that once when I build my page. And then from there on out, everything I change here changes the entire site. I make one change to the CSS, and behold, everything that is related to that site changes. I make the change here to say turn all the text blue, and it just does magically. Let's see how that happens. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to go over to text edit, make sure text edit is open. I'm going to open up a new text item, click save, and I'm going to call it style.css. Super important. Student website folder, make sure it's in your top folder, style.css. That's all you're going to do. I already have one in there from a prior trying of this video, but I'm going to make a blank new one right now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a change. Let's say for now, how do you make that change? Well, you have a process where you pick a selector, the H1, the P tag, the table tag. You can make a change to any tag, and then whatever you tell it to look like, every time the page uses that selector, it uses whatever's on that page. It kind of says that's where I'm going to get my style directions from. So this particular one takes all the H1 tags in the entire site, and every time you use an H1 tag, it will be blue, and it will be 12 point. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to copy that actually. H1, all right, and we're going to go ahead, sorry, it's a mistake, H1, and I don't want to take the autocorrection, and then I'm going to put in the curly bracket, and that's the one above, usually above the quote line or next to the P. I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to go color, colon, blue, semicolon, then I'll give it a space for good, like font, size, colon, 12 pixels, semicolon, and then I'm going to close my curly braces. And then the other thing I'm going to tell you, by the way, is just do yourself a favor. Put a line break and before you're starting and you're ending. It just makes it easier to read. So I know that this is my H1s and that whatever I change here is what I'm going to do. Oftentimes, too, they'll actually write it this way. So you can see for each one what you're doing, but it's still the same. Curly brace, all your declarations, and close the curly brace. Curly brace, here's the declarations, the things that I wanted to do. Save it. So I'll go over here and I hit refresh and nothing's changed. Well, of course not. If you remember the other step, I have to tell each document to listen to the CSS. It's a bit tedious the first time, but I only have to do this once. And the good news is it's one simple link. Type it once in the head and copy it to the rest. It's colon, link, rel equals style sheet, This tells your page the relationship of this link is that it's a style sheet. The type of document it's looking for is text document. That's a CSS sheet. And then href is the actual link. We know that. That's our link. And style.css. I put that in. Sorry, close it properly. I put that here. And I refresh this page. And nothing has changed. And the reason nothing has changed is, oh, I'm not in a home. There we go. It's 12 points. That is correct. That is exactly what I want. 12 points is not what I wanted. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it here. I copy it and I put it in my About page. I'll save it. Now we go over to Home. It's very small. About is very small. I like the color blue. I don't like the size. I'm going to make this change. I'll even open up, by the way, just for kicks and giggles. Let me open up the Table 1 page. I'll even throw this change in Table 1 with my music. And now all 3 of my pages have this blue Mr. Tush. I like the blue. I don't like the size. It's too small. So I'm going to go back to my style sheet. And I'm going to tell it to get really big. I'm going to change this to 36 points. I'm going to save. That's all I have to do. I made one change right here to the style sheet. Watch what happens. It gets big. As a matter of fact, as I dance around the entire page, it gets real big. Let's make another change. What if I want all of these to be red? I want all of my basic text to be red. I'm going to change all my P's to be red. So P, and open my curly brace. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to color. I'm going to go with green. Red's a little too shocking. And then font size. I'm going to go to 14 pixels because I think it's a little too small. And I'm going to close my curly braces. That's all I'm going to do. One change. Now reload the page. It's now 14 points. Whoops, it's a little smaller than I wanted. I'm going to go to 18 points. Save. There we go. I like that a little better. And look, the entire site is changed. Now, why not these tables? Because remember, this is all stuff that was in a table. This is all stuff that was in a header. All different CSS. Right now, I just have the basic page is listening to these directions. Now, how do you advance this? Well, I'm going to tell you the last tip I want you to understand, which is w3schools.com. w3schools.com. This is a wonderful web developer site. If you want to get new HTML codes to do dynamic stuff, go to HTML, learn it. What you can do here, I'll widen it so you can see it a little bit better. You'll see they'll tell you how to do different headings, different paragraph styles, how to do these different things, how to do tables, how to handle images, all this kind of stuff. If you want to learn how to do CSS, this is the language of CSS. This is how to change basic, but then you can put in borders, you can put in outlines, you can change different fonts and call different types of fonts into your document. All of this is done through CSS. So moving forward, if you want to make changes to your site, go to w3schools.com. In the meantime, during work time in class, I'll be helping you to integrate your different ideas into your project. Right now, everybody's going to have different designs and different ideas for their project. Do it all in your style sheet, connect your style sheet to all your pages, and you'll be able to style and pretty up your pages. So put your content in here, your styles in here, save it all. You're going to have a beautiful site when you're done. Good luck.